Alright, so I don't usually make response videos like this, but I figured I would bring to you guys this clip from Dennis Prager, who is the founder of Prager University, which I'm sure most of you guys already are aware of what they do. They're basically just a right-wing propaganda outlet, and they've really become more and more influential as the years have gone on. Even now, some like schools and stuff will be including their videos as part of their lesson plans and stuff like that. So their reach goes far and wide, and it's because they have a bunch of billionaire funding, which we're going to get into in this. But I have a clip here that really just is perfectly an encapsulation of not only how stupid their content actually is and their founder actually is, but also just what their incentives are, what the structures that are around them that pressure them to take certain positions on certain issues. So here is Dennis Prager explaining to us how actually global warming and climate change is not something we should worry about because it's the cold that is the actual only problem.
Just want everyone else to live by these standards, and they themselves will fly in jet planes, live in large houses, and reproduce, while their centralized command and control by intellectuals continues to be a failure.
Well, that's Al Gore. You just described Al Gore with his... And a lot of these leading environmentalists, flying in private jets, using far more energy than anybody else. Now, I happen not to care. If there's one piece I'd like you to read from the year 2021, it's Bjorn Lomborg's piece that just came out in the LA Times, amazingly. No, USA Today, amazingly. And how so many fewer people are dying because of climate than ever before. Because the great killer is cold, not heat. So global warming has actually been saving lives. But the left doesn't care about saving lives. They care about disrupting civilization because of the deep boredom in their soul that comes from the religionless lives that they were raised with. That's what it is. Give me purpose. I was raised...
That's what it is. That's what it is, right? I mean, we don't have to worry about climate change because, global warming isn't a problem. People aren't dying from heat. They've only ever throughout history died from cold, right? That's what he's saying right here. I literally have no idea what the fuck he was just saying in that clip. Listen, I'm also not religious, so I guess he was not talking to me. I was raised religious, but I'm now an atheist, older in my life. So I'm not really sure who he was describing here as if all leftists are atheists or all leftists are non-religious in that way. Some people are, some people aren't. Everybody's different, but that really has nothing to do with the science question that he was asking in that, or the science question that he was proposing in that, right? He was just talking about climate change as if it's not something we should worry about if the planet is over extensive periods of time, over decades, getting warmer and warmer and warmer, because people only throughout history apparently have died from the cold. So listen, in a very immediate sense, he's wrong, and it's weird that he would come out and say something like this on July 6th, as we are literally in the middle of a gigantic heat wave that has killed hundreds, if not thousands of people already in the Pacific Northwest and in Canada. So literally, I mean, the heat is killing people right now, as he was saying that clip and denying the apparent existence of human ability to die from heat. But in addition to that, he doesn't really obviously understand what climate change is. He still thinks that it's like just global warming and that temperatures will just slightly get hotter and that's all that it means. No, it's also destabilization. It's also an increase in the frequency and extremity of some of these weather events like hurricanes, tornadoes, etc. In addition to that, it's also floods. It's also rising tides in countries like low-lying countries like Indonesia and all these other countries with hundreds of billions of people that will eventually have to mass migrate away from those places as the oceans continue to rise and more extreme weather events continue to pound their countries. So these are the types of things we should be worrying about as far as climate change is concerned, right? He doesn't really talk about any of that, obviously, just that, only people can die from cold, apparently. So why is he all saying this? What is the entire reason for him using these weird, stupid lines that he is using instead of just talking about the issue honestly? Well, it's stuff like this, okay? Fracking tightens bankrolling right-wing indoctrination effort in schools, investigation. So new research by RH Reality Check finds ultra-conservative Prager University, which creates right-wing curriculum, receives funding from fracking investors. So listen, yeah, it's not just fracking, it's also oil, it's also fossil fuel industry as a whole. So these are the types of people who bankroll PragerU. This is why they make these propaganda videos. This is why you have Dennis Prager going out there and making comments like this. It has nothing to do with the science. It has nothing to do with anything substantive whatsoever. They are literally just a propaganda outlet.